Right. I've been told to just go into the story of
We're
why.
just starting. We're just starting.
We're just
All right,
starting,
go on.
okay? Welcome back to whatever episode it is. No one cares. Anyway, I got trapped in Birmingham, guys. I've been told to talk about this. Basically, stupid man would not let me on train. He was saying, no more space. In fact, there was space. I think what he thought was my bags were suspicious. I'm not sure. He didn't want to say that because I politely went, there is space there. Look. And then I went like, oh, do you mean no space for my bags? And I was like, wait, look at that, mate. There is a full clear bit where I can put my bags there. Trust me, I'm very fucking sarcastic. I don't get aggressive. I get sarcastic. And then I got kicked off the train because people were getting annoyed at me for being held up when I have a ticket to the train. Anyway, yeah, I got trapped in Birmingham after that. That was the last train. Luckily, Aaron, code Aaron25, allowed me to stay at his house in Birmingham. But I did walk down some very dangerous streets and thought I was going to be stabbed. And that is not like, me being upper class. That is me being like, I was looking around me, people getting shaken down. And then when I meet Aaron25, he goes, guess what? 2 people got stabbed out here the other day. And I was like, why are you telling me this? Why are you telling me this? But anyway, that's how my last couple of days have been, and now I'm ill. So how are you, Jack? Let's get into how you are.
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Fucking yeah. I mean, I got on
Nothing went
stage.
on last week, did it?
Yeah, I got on stage with my Sparkleys,
Oh,
which was which was good. I'm not sure how much of the frame. All right, hang on. Can I eat this into frame? There you go. That is my overall sword for winning the overall. No, I'm kidding. It's my first time. So can you imagine? And I've also got the trunks with my number on still.
how much?
It's not. It's not. It's not because it was an incredible placing. It's because I'm happy with the look, and the goal. The next time I step on stage is to win my class. I'm putting that out there.
Ooh.
I think I can do it. I really do. With
This is
how
the first time I've seen you confident. Let's fucking go.
Mate, with how much of a better bodybuilder I was in prep, and also how much like less distracted and more focused I am. Like, I guess I'll get into that in a second, but yeah, I feel in a really really good place of bodybuilding, and I think a year or two of doing what I'm doing is going to give some serious growth. So I want to come back and win my class. I think it'd be cool to look back at like that first time as medal and kind of trunks and be like, hey, this is a bit of my history. But yeah, fucking show was great. We came fourth as youngest in the lineup, which I'm very, very, very pleased about. I wasn't
Youngest by
expecting that at
far,
all.
by the way.
Yeah, yeah, by like pretty much half a decade, which is awesome. So yeah, we got an invite to the Universe and finals. I didn't take them because, I mean, like I'm happy with the look, but I still placed fourth. It's like me longing out the prep when we didn't plan to do another show. Speaking to Tim, we don't think we can improve the look anymore. It's like, bringing the same look that we already brought to a more what's the word I'm looking for? Competitive show with a higher standard. It just kind of feels pointless. It's like I'll step on stage, get 10th, and then step off stage and be like, yep, cool, same look, same thing. Like, the judges' feedback was you need bigger delts mainly, and I was like, yeah, cool. So yeah, it just kind of it felt a bit pointless. And I was keen to improve as well. I was like, by that time, I was like, I'm pretty done with prep. Like, if my placing had been better, or if I was a junior, I would have been like, yeah, let's keep on going, because I really enjoyed the process of competing. But it's kind of like, okay, we're now in like the big boy leagues. I don't think my physique holds up enough. I don't think I have enough tissue to really play on the major conditioning game. So it's like, what's the point of longing it out when I'm keen to improve? But yeah, it was
I
a
think
hell
that's
of an
completely
experience.
fair enough.
Yeah, it was a hell of an experience. But yeah, I mean, like since then, like my drive to train has been incredibly high, and like food focus has been literally rock bottom. Like I'm really not fussed, which is really cool. Like kind of normally like I'd be very much looking forward to like my weekly untracked meal, and I'm not fussed. Like I remember saying, remember saying to Tim, like pretty much as soon as I got off stage, I was like, I don't want an untracked meal, man. Like basically what I did for the weekend is I macro tracked vaguely. I didn't worry too much about protein, but I just kind of stayed within calories roughly, like give or take. You know, I might be like, oh, I'm going to have 200 grams of berries, and then accidentally put 250 in, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Like, cool, whatever. So, yeah, like, and also, like, drive to train. Normally I'd be an absolute stim junkie in the gym, and drive to train has just been incredibly high, and I've not needed it, which is nice as well from, like, a blood pressure standpoint. If I can keep myself caffeine-free, that would be fucking awesome.
Mate, that sounds fantastic. You can literally see it within yourself. When you were on stage, I could pinpoint the exact second I was like, I could see it in your eyes. Like, yeah, I belong here. Like it was pretty fucking cool, and it was cool. I remember going to the tanning with you, and I remember taking the shots with your cocksock on. Unfortunately, you kept it on, guys. I didn't get to see it, but it's fine. I remember showing you the photos, and you were like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
bro, actually looked like a bodybuilder. It's crazy, mate. You looked insane. I've never seen someone that lean in person before. It's actually mad.
It's mental how it was so hard to get dry. It was so hard to get lean as well. Like holy shit, the prep was fucking horrible. It was such a horrible prep. But yeah, like it was such a claw to get there. And so like actually seeing the physique pay off was really fucking cool. And honestly, like I was kind of thinking to myself, but I didn't. I was going to make a post, but I didn't want to because obviously I'm very, very close with Luke, and Luke has, you know, competed twice and I've kind of moved away from bodybuilding. But I was going to make a post basically along the lines of like, I can't fathom getting off stage and wanting to stop this. Like, I can't comprehend that mindset at all. And I didn't want to make that post because I feel like putting bodybuilding to one side must be hard enough when it's been your identity for so long. I kind of didn't want to harp on it and make a public thing of it, and like I'm sure ultimately Luke wouldn't give a shit, but I thought like, you know, especially like an Instagram post, I don't mind talking about it on a podcast because I can kind of caveat things and, you know, whatever. But like I had a lot of DMs from people that were like, oh, you're gonna keep going, you know, like most people do a show and then they're kind of like, oh, this isn't for me or whatever. And I'm like, man, doing the show made bodybuilding like a real thing to me. Do you know what I mean? Like it really yeah, like I think, because I remember when we went to Tom's meetup, me and you, and I was like, oh, I could do about the posing in the show, and like I just kind of want to get peeled and see what that looks like. Nah, the show makes it. Like there's like literally when I was doing my routine, I was like hearing applause when I was hitting a shot. I was like, yeah, this is fucking crazy. Like there's that I think I really love that performance element of it. And it like, it's, I don't know how to describe it. It really does just like tie things off really nicely. Of like, otherwise bodybuilding is incredibly monotonous and kind of like a constant pursuit of like better and better and better. And when you get on stage and you have that feedback of like, here's how you're doing in this sport, here's how you stack up, was incredibly cool and really, really useful. And being like, you know, standing in a lineup and being judged and putting that posing into work and like showing the condition, showing the muscularity that your entire life has been working towards, gives it so much more purpose than just kind of being like, here's my transformation, I've beat myself. I think that competitive element for me really, really adds to it. I definitely feel myself being more competitive now. Like kind of in my mindset, like kind of friendly competition, but it's I don't know how to describe it. I'm a bit more kind of like, I can't fathom missing this cardio, I can't fathom missing these steps, I can't fathom missing a meal, because I just want to get better. I really want to I want to get on stage again and really make a statement. And like that's the kind of the drive. The stage is the drive, and it kind of
Yeah,
adds.
imagine you keep that the entire off season. Imagine you keep that the entire
Yeah.
off season. Genuine, and then that carries on to prep. Like, you should have seriously heard, like when you were saying in that posing routine, like when you were saying like, oh yeah, you know, you'd hear applause when you should have heard me, Aaron, Camille, and the fucking back me, bro. When you hit that first transition of the ab and fi, we all just fucking screamed, bro. It was genuinely amazing. I get what you mean about. That's genuinely you talking about that. I can picture that because I was there. I can understand that. I can never understand how you felt until I do it. But you saying that shit makes me so excited to jump on stage as well. And like knowing that I'll have the support of you guys and maybe some of my clients and stuff like that. It's insane how like such a lonely sport can bring so many people together. It's actually mad because you do everything by yourself. Realistically, like you've got a coach, but how often he's not holding your hand during cardio, or she's not holding your hand during cardio. That would be very fucking odd. But yeah, it's a cool sport. I think it's fucking cool, and I can't say I'm a bodybuilder yet, but I can't wait to step on stage and be like, display myself and be like, yeah, I fucking did that, and you've done that, and you can see how happy it's made you because you're a fantastic coach, and you've just proved you're a fantastic athlete as well. So fucking win-win all around.
Thank you, bro. Getting glazed. Yeah. I think it's cool to like. My hair's really pissing me off today. For anyone who's watching the video, just turn the video off, please.
That's why I put my hoodie up, bro.
I haven't got any product in it, and the light is hitting it in a way where you can see.
It's alright, I'll do this.
My hair thinning, which is awesome.
Yeah, bro. What about this?
But yeah, I mean, like, it's one thing to like, post some shots of like, here's how lean I am on Instagram, and like doing that posing. But man, like, the rush of like walking onto that stage, they call out the pose, and it's like I'm posing for my life, and like I'm trying to get like the judge's eye, and like to be fair, the feedback I got from the judges was like I had really good stage presence. And I remember being on stage and I was like, I refuse to be overlooked. Like, I have worked way too hard to be here, to be overlooked. I'm getting a placing that I'm happy with. I'm not sneaking through. Like, I'm not flying under the radar and having people be like, oh shit, man, you should have had this, but like, you were too shy or whatever. So it's like, immediately I pose towards the judges. I'm like, glutes, get the fuck on them. Midsection, get the fuck on it. Quads, stay on them. Like, aggressively posing. And then a routine comes through, and it's like, it's fun to perform that. And then the 60-second pose down was like, it was quite fun. I can't lie. It was a fun little like, you get briefed backstage, and they're like, we want to see a bit of aggression between you guys. Like, come on, like, have a bit of fun here. Nudge people out the way, try and get to the front, like that's part of the fun of it. It's a bit of a like, just have a laugh, and like you kind of all friendly, like, nudging each other out the way and laughing a little bit, and like, yeah, it's awesome. You're just like, what pose should I hit next? Like, let's just fucking go through them. But yeah, honestly, like it really does add so much more to it, that you have that like definitive kind of end goal. I mean, it makes sense, like whenever we have clients who are dieting, who are kind of like, maybe they're doing like a pretty harsh diet, we normally say like, maybe do a photo shoot or like make something of this. And I think the prep really is like the ultimate version of that. Currently, me and Tim don't have a timeline, but I'm open to competing next year. If I make the improvements that I want to make. But kind of, I was speaking to Butcher, and he was like, if you want to capitalize on this momentum, say you're going to compete next year to yourself, and then like treat it like that. And if the tissue isn't there, then diet like it's a prep, and then go again. And like, I think if I come out the gate being like, I'm going to do a long off season, it's kind of easy to get lost in the monotony. So my focus at the minute is like, it's going to be a short off season, and then go from there. But I'm really excited to do what I've been doing, but in a growth phase for a year, like not missing a beat. I think that's going to be really, really cool. I think I will make a lot of improvements in a year as well.
Mate, you will. You know exactly what you need to improve on, and you've got the knowledge to do it, and you've got a fucking fantastic coach as well, and people around you. But yeah, one thing that you touched on there was like the monotony of stuff. And to be fair, something I've definitely struggled with that for a long time, right? I'm a very like fucking I would like to say I'm like, well, I wouldn't like to say, but people around me say I'm like ADHD coded. I kind of agree. But like I really struggle over them long periods of time. I still fucking do it because I'm not a pussy. But I do it. Fuck's sake. But what really helps me is, to be honest, I don't call it a growth phase. I don't call it improvement phase. I just fucking do what I'm doing with a little bit more food. I have a little bit more energy. I'm not that bothered. It's someone out there. Genuinely, I think a lot of physique development is just perspective. I had a chat about this with a client the other day, and if you can just have a perspective that's positive, which is very hard to come by nowadays, you will go fucking far. In a diet, when you've got low energy and you just change your perspective a little, it can really fucking change things. I know that's such it's such an easy thing to say, but to actually put it into action, you'll realize like, oh my fucking god, this does actually make a lot of sense. But yeah, like me, man, I'm going to be competing, 2027. It's still a long time away for me, but mate, if Tom keeps like saying, mate, you're looking better and better each week, I'm going to fucking keep riding it. It's going to be great. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
When you hit that,
prep's got me excited.
Mate, when you hit that point where it's like, I don't need to know what phase I'm in, I'm just bodybuilding. That's when that's the flow state. That's when you know you're good. Like when you are just ticking the boxes, like I just kind of do what I'm told, and it's like we take it from there. I think the one thing that's definitely like kind of helped a lot so far this off season is so I run 5 meals a day. The first 4 are on meal plan, and then the 5th one is macro tracked with my girlfriend. And it will usually be like, so far we did burgers, we did chicken noodle soup, we did Thai green curry. Today we did pasta. With it was pasta with prawns, bok choy, onion, garlic, tomato. So it's pretty much like carb, protein, veg, seasoning sauce. And so like I'll just macro track it, and I'm like, okay, it's an off season, I don't mind macro tracking one of my 5 meals. I think that's consistent enough, right? 4 meals on meal plan, and then the 5th meal macro tracked. My 4th meal I always take as cream of rice, so I'm like nice and full. So that 5th meal can kind of be like, if she wants to like do something like a little bit higher calorie, I can just have it smaller. Like if she wants to do like, when we did burgers, they end up being a little bit higher calorie, so I just have like 1 burger with a bit of side salad. So having a cream of rice beforehand kind of tires me over a bit. But I think honestly that removes a lot of food focus as well, and it removes a lot of like pressure, because it's like every single night we're eating food together. There's not really that element of like, oh sorry babe, I've got a meal plan, oh we can go out to eat on Saturday. It removes that pressure to do that. And also it adds like a nice bit of variety, and I don't really have to think of the meals either, so it's also really, really nice, and it's pretty much just like bodybuilding food anyway. So for anyone out there in the kind of off season who's struggling with maybe like striking a balance or food focus, or just kind of breaking up that monotony, because I know like definitely in the past when I'd be so food focused, I'd be like, fuck, I'm gonna be in a growth phase for like years and years and years, and like I'm just having fucking rice for dinner. God damn, like I can't wait to go out to eat or whatever. So it's like instead having a bit of a play and like even kind of learning to cook a little bit better adds a lot more variety, because it's like if there's something I end up really craving, just fucking have it for meal 5. Like, sound. And then because I'm not fully macro tracking today, it's nicer from like a consistency standpoint. Like after this, I'll prep my meals for tomorrow. There's one less meal to prep as well, which is great. It's something that me and my missus can do, sit down together and like plan out. So yeah, for anyone listening, I highly recommend that. And then as soon as prep starts, I'll just jump right back into it. Whereas, yeah, that's definitely something that like literally as soon as the show was done, I messaged her. I was like,
Mate, class. I just want to double check. Am I still like alive? Because my connection is going really weird.
You sometimes freeze, but you're all good.
Okay, there you go. Okay, well, can am I all right now? Do I sound
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah,
Sick.
good.
That's really nice. That was actually something I kind of wanted to touch on. Was kind of like, I know it's a weird one, and people don't really talk about that much. But like, kind of relationships, coming out of prep as well. I would think like everyone kind of talks about it kind of in prep, and how much you have to support someone and stuff like that. But I think out of prep's probably gonna just like hunger is. I think it's gonna be harder kind of out of prep. Because you've got all them things available to you. However, like I don't know if you want to get into it because I don't know how fucking what you want to talk about. But how have you been kind of coming out of prep? Because it sounds like you've been managing it fantastically.
Yeah, so I'm aware. So I'm aware this episode's kind of about like my recent experience. I'm trying to give some good information, but I'm also not trying to like make this a jackpot as much as possible.
Yeah,
I just want to yap. But yeah, so kind of in prep, me and my girlfriend already had a conversation about like what's post prep, what does that look like for us, and kind of setting those expectations. She already knew me before prep, and she already knew about bodybuilding, and she's been incredibly supportive. I'm so fortunate, like. I am so fortunate. For anyone out there who's in a relationship where your partner just hates you bodybuilding, there are other options. Like,
oh my god, that's fucking brutal.
I think the thing is, like, kind of, I've had relationships fall apart. Sorry, my eyes are watering. This fucking monitor is screaming blue light at me. I'll get the nerd specs on. There we go, lovely. So, bodybuilding has been something that, like, has caused a lot of friction in my relationships before. And it's something that I've kind of always tried to shape and mold around like my partner or whatever, and kind of a similar thing with coaching. And it got to a point where I'd be like, okay, these are like key, these are core, like parts of my identity, and I'm constantly having to compromise, and this person's still not happy, and that's kind of been like a crux of like my relationships ending. And so now to be with someone where I'm like, literally like from day one, I've been like, look, here is me. This is like what you're signing up for. This is not optional. This is just like what I do. Like I will finish work at like 7, 8 or 9 p.m. and I might still be on my phone. Imagine that I worked in an office and I got home at 9. It's the same thing. Like I eat like this. Imagine that I had like a digestive health disorder. It's the exact same thing. Like, these are non-negotiable things. This is not, like, this is something I'm choosing to do, but I need you to understand that I wholeheartedly pick this with, like, every ounce of my being, and this is a non-negotiable. It's like having those conversations are really, really important in setting that kind of expectation. But anyway, I'm rambling. When, I've lost all my podcast etiquette. When we were, like, halfway through prep, we had a conversation about like what does end of prep kind of look like, and she said like, hey, it's really important to me that we have a meal together every single day. And initially I was kind of like, oh fuck, like that's I was thinking once a week. And then kind of after like sitting down and having a conversation and kind of being a bit less preppy about it, because in prep you're so like everything has to be perfect, I was like, well, you track macros. If I give you my macros, or if I just cook the meals, if you say what you want, and I'll prepare my meal, and I'll prepare your meal, or like, if I just say, hey, these are my macros, I need this meal to fit this, does that work? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, sweet. Like, the pasta we just made, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, she covered hers in cheese, like, absolutely covered it. And then mine, I was like, I don't really have the caloric room for cheese. I'd rather have more pasta and more veggies. So that's what I did. We had 2 different portions, but we had the same meal, and it's like, that kind of works out. So we set that expectation. Jesus Christ, what the fuck just drove by? It sounded like a Lamborghini. But yeah, I mean, like, setting those expectations of what life is going to look like, how you're going to operate, what kind of things you want to avoid as well. And even things like kind of conveying like, okay, in prep, if you want me to go to the shops and get you a sweet treat, that's fine. Post prep, I might need to like sit rep that a little bit, because post prep it's like the guardrails are off a little bit, and it's like you can kind of find yourself in a situation of like, oh, I can, therefore I will, rather than being like, oh, I want to. The amount of times where like I've gone to the shops to get like a cheesecake or like something like that, and I've been like, oh, I might pick myself up like, I don't know, XYZ thing, and I'll be like, Jack, if you weren't going to the shops because your missus, would you be thinking about this thing? No. Okay, then don't have it, because you don't actually want it. It's just like that situation is there. If I find myself sat at home being like, fuck, I really want this specific treat that would really fulfill me, then I'll go and do it. But again, yeah. But yeah, I think the key thing, I'm going off on so many tangents, is having those conversations of like, here's what post-prep is going to look like, here's how we're going to manage things, and still going on dates, still spending time together, and just really clear communication. I mean, it's all the cliches, but really clear communication of like what you need. As soon as you feel like your partner isn't giving you something that you need, don't sit and stew on it, because it's not going to go away. You need to have that conversation and be like, hey, look, I need this from you. Like, one time she messaged me and she was like, okay, I know that you're struggling in prep, but you're being way too distant, you're pushing me away. And I was like, you know what, you're right, like, let me put a stop to that. Like, let's spend some time together. It's been a couple of days since we've seen each other. Let me organise a date. Let's spend some real quality time. Go and do that, rather than just like back end of the day, I'm fucked and you're bored, and then we're just watching TV. Like, let's go do something, you know.
No, that's really good. Who would have thought the underlying staples of relationships still apply in prep and post prep? Yeah. Communication, actually catching things early. It's fucking fantastic. That's exactly what I want. And to be honest, I was asking that not only for you, for people out there listening, but also for myself, right? Like, I'd say me and Beck have a very, very good relationship. I mean, I literally fucking posted about it today because she was just the only thing on my mind, which is very gay, but it's fine. But yeah, it's I'm very lucky to have someone like that. I think I can relate to it in from like kind of like a coaching standpoint. I would like to say I work quite hard, and I work quite hard because I fucking love my job. But with all of life happens, right? Shit happens. There's stuff that people don't know about me that's happened. And Beck has been the fucking thing to keep me together, and I owe everything to her. And genuinely, I mean that from like the bottom of my heart. So if you can find someone just like Jack has, and I have, you will go far. It's not needed, right? Because not everyone needs to be in a relationship. But if it does happen, please realise, like, if that person's actually for you, do whatever the fuck you can do to hold on to them. And like Jack said, if they're not for you, don't hold on to them, okay? You need to give yourself a lot of respect, because you are a good person. As long as if you listen to this, you are, okay? You are. Coach's alternate discount.
Automatically. Actually, no, you're an alright person, but if you sign up for coaching, then you're a great person.
Yeah, and then if you also use code Jizzle10 discount, you get, you're actually just a fantastic person. That's what it is.
10 karma points immediately.
Please, if you when you do your next bodybuilding show and like you get a medal, because it's gonna happen, please fucking hold it above your head and go code Jarcher10. I actually swear, if you do, I will love that.
I'll be like, Pete and Jack, come to the show. I'm gonna shout out Conti in the finals.
That'd be so fucking funny. Oh, yeah, you Lord. Just like you have like a fucking like PCA trophy or like a trophy, and you just fucking put like a Conte Hydroflow in the middle, like yes.
This was brought to you by Pre-Shred.
Oh no!
This win is brought to you by Conti Core.
Oh Lord. Fuck me!
To be fair, Core is good. Conti Core and Conti Way, so maybe I couldn't have done it without them. Shout out Jack and Pete.
Yeah, you actually would have been fat and bloated on stage without it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like the thing about like prep is either prep makes you realize your kind of like priorities and like what you enjoy and what's valuable to you, and you'll either be like, yeah man, bodybuilding is not worth it, holy shit, like I just want to live my life and this is way too restrictive, or you'll be like, this is fucking great and I want to do more of this, I want to get better at this, and I think like it also makes you realize kind of the way that I describe it is like in prep you don't have crutches of like being able to just kind of be like, yeah fuck it, I'll just like stay up all night, yeah fuck it, I'll just like go get some food, yeah fuck it, I'll just do this, do that. Like you have a plan and you have to adhere to it. And so I think the reason why people struggle with relationships in prep is because maybe they rely too much on crutches in their relationship, or it's like if you have a certain amount of work to do, cardio, steps, food, all that stuff to do, and you can't kind of keep the relationship alive. It's like, well, if I'm following a meal plan and suddenly our relationship is falling apart, where's that coming from? Because it's not the meal plan. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, was the relationship only working because we were just swimming in dopamine from, like, you know, staying up all night, drinking, getting takeaways, you know, yada yada yada. And it's like, I think it makes you realize like what's important and like how to manage things and like what you can do to kind of like integrate your lives together, and it also gives you an idea of like how to kind of communicate what you need to your partner. Like you get better at being like, hey, I'm fucked, I need us to kind of just like chill tonight. And then your partner hopefully will get better at being like, hey, we've chilled the past week, do you want to like maybe go out and like let's do something, let's do bowling, let's go to the cinema, let's go do something. And like you both get kind of better at like communicating your needs on what works well for you. But yeah, I mean the key really is like communication and just explaining to people that post prep is kind of just a continuation of prep, but like a bit more slow and steady. Like have a bit more freedom and flexibility, but not all of the freedom and flexibility, because you need a bit of time to like recover and get back to normal. And explaining that like that's completely normal, but laying things out like we did of like, here is the plan, here's what we're going to do on show day, here's what we're going to do day after show day, and here's what like normal life is going to look like, is really important. Like, okay, I'm still going to be getting up early to check in with Tim, I'm still going to be following a meal plan, 4 out of 5 meals, but I've got macros, but these are the macros that are still a little bit restrictive. I'm still going to be quite hungry, so we still want to keep the meals a bit more filling. As time goes on, food will go up. I don't know when that will be. I'm still going to be a little bit tired, but we can go and do more things. And so, like, setting that expectation and having an open communication is important, obviously. Who'd have thought?
Yeah, I love that. So I'm going to ask a really fucking boring question, because someone out there will want to know, because we're all like this. Have any plans, apart from, not including food, changed, like, since post-prep? Maybe, like, training, anything like that? Nothing changed?
Yeah, mate, actually.
Okay.
So lipolytics are down, but not fully out, just to give my body time to adjust. Food is at, I can tell you, one sec. It's at, oh shit, it's the same both days pretty much. 300 carb and 2.5k calories, 60 fat, 200 protein. So 2.5k food, not much.
It is for me.
I mean, it's a lot compared to prep, which is like 1400. And since then, my body weight has jumped, absolutely fucking jumped, which is like a bit of a head fuck. That's a really weird head spin. But I'm trying to kind of like, as you've seen me post today, I'm still trying to pose, and like there's definite blurring on my midsection, but everywhere else looks kind of cool. So I'm trying to focus on those areas and focus on like, I feel good, training's good. This is by far the leanest that I've ever started a growth phase. I mean, I'm not technically officially in off season yet, but yada yada yada, you get the point, right? But it's like, okay, I'm still, I'm not like as lean as I was when I was show ready, but that's kind of the point, and I'm still pretty fucking peeled, especially in some areas. If I had more tissue, I'd look ridiculously peeled. I need more tissue, fuck badly. But the kind of the head spin is a little bit weird. But anyway, yeah, so that's food. We're just giving it until body weight settles down. It's been literally up down daily. I feel very fucking hungry today, so I imagine it's going to be a drop tomorrow, but we'll see. Training, I've joined the nerds. This was not my idea, it was Tim's idea. He brand new training. I hope, like, I'm holding my hands of this. I'm just following Tim's plan. I've got limbs and torso.
Yes, he's joined us. It's a good split. I actually really enjoy it.
I ran a limbs session. I've run a torso session today. For the sake of being cool and edgy, I'm going to call it chest and back, and the other day arms and legs, just to be cool. It's 2 on 1 off, which is also really, really cool. I was thinking about post-prep, messaging Tim about doing a rotating split. I was thinking upper, lower, off, but I think chest, back, arms, legs makes more sense. My torso session starts off with delts, which is great, and then my limb session starts off with arms, which is great, and then I've got a little bit of abs and calves on both. 25 minutes of cardio post-workout for each, so like roughly 4 times a week, because the training's roughly 4 times a week, so it's obviously 2 on, 1 off. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the rotating split. It's really, really cool. I like the little bit of change that you get from it not being on the same days. I think I've just run the same rest days for so long that it's like they feel like a little bit of a downer. So it's kind of nice to have that variety. Cardio I feel sound doing because I'm not on my arse, and I'm really enjoying training. Only thing is, it's really hard to keep to 2 RIR. It's really hard because I just want to fucking go. I feel fantastic. Like already, I'm currently on TRT. There's no drugs in, and I spent the last week before prep off of androgens as well. So just like blood serum concentrations were just coming down pretty much to natural. So I'm probably pretty much at TRT now, like in my actual bloods. But it's the freshest I felt. I feel fantastic. I feel good. I feel like my body is growing currently, which is cool. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the rotating split. Really, really enjoying it. It's nice. I think from a bodybuilding perspective, obviously it's like only really if you're a coach can you do it because of time-wise and stuff. But from a bodybuilding perspective, I think having it be every body part is equally spaced from itself makes sense because it takes the same amount of time to recover from each session, roughly. And I think as well, like 2 on, 1 off, not having 2 back-to-back rest days and then not having 3 days of training back-to-back is nice. The 2 back-to-back rest days, that second rest day feels horrible. 3 days of training in a row, that third day of training feels horrible. So I feel like it suits my biology kind of the best. And I was hesitant to start it, but now that Tim's like, this is the plan, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Sound. And I'm really enjoying it.
Mate, that's when I go full time, that's immediately what I'm going to do. That's always what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's just it's such a pain, like I've literally gone up to 6 times a week because I hate having two rest days. It's fucking awful. I actually hate it so much. Like, yeah, you have so much time to do work, but then I almost have too much time, and I'm one of them people that would just fill that time. No matter how, if I had 6 hours or 2 hours, I would fill it. Which is really bad for me because not in terms of overworking myself, burning myself out. I'll just replace that time that I would have had with Becca with work, and that's something I need to work on. That definitely before prep, and I'm doing it now, which is good. But yeah, like that sounds fantastic. Torso limbs is actually really fun. To be fair, I again, my legs are way better than my arm, just like yours are. And so it makes a lot of sense to do so. But your arm's like 4 times the size of my fucking arm, so I can't really. I don't know why I brought you into that conversation. But yeah, it's a really, really fun one. But yeah, you have to be some fucking online coach to be able to do that because other people have lives. So
yeah, I kind of tend to like my days at the minute are like pretty much I run the same amount of check-ins every single day, Monday to Friday. Because I find I do need a rest from doing so many check-ins. Obviously, I've got people in prep, so I've got a couple like WhatsApp voice note check-ins to do on Saturday and Sunday, which is calm. It's so chill, and I can kind of like I don't mind doing those because it's like 5 at the most, and it's WhatsApp check-ins. So it's just like ping over your shots, get sheets updated, and then I'll just send a voice note back because it's not their main check-in of the week. It's usually one of 3. So I have like a main check-in day that's the video, and then additional check-ins will just be me voice noting and being like, yeah, these are the changes we're going to make, or these aren't the changes we're going to make. But like we're talking about bodybuilding athletes, so it's mainly like there's not tons and tons and tons of subjective feedback to go through. It's usually just like, do we need to change? Do we not need to change? And then the actual Loom video is like, hey, let's talk through like how you're feeling, etc. Unless they bring something up by message. But yeah, 5 days of check-ins and then 2 days off. And then I'll do on that rest day, the time where I would go to the gym. So like I have my pre-workout meal, and I go to Costa, and I'll do content on the first rest day, and then on the second rest day I go to Costa and I'll do education. So I'll work through and like just try and grab up as much as I can. So whether I'll go on J3U, I've got a big fucking back there like backlog of books to go through and read about like nutrition, anatomy, even PEDs and stuff that I basically scrape through. And so I still kind of like have that training time, which is nice because I find otherwise if I just spend all my time in this office, I go crazy. So instead I keep that like kind of training ritual, and also it keeps my steps up as well. Otherwise it's so easy to be sat at this desk for ages and then have to do 10k steps at the end of the day. So instead doing a walk to Costa is like a similar amount of steps as like I might achieve in the gym walking about, and then it just means I can do my little steps after each meal, and that ticks things off. But the long-term goal, not that anyone asked, is I would love to have, when I buy a place eventually, when I finally stop procrastinating it and just bite the bullet and buy a house. I don't know where the fuck to live in Manchester. Anyway, that's a different point. I want to get a specific office, and then I want to have a 3-bed, so I have like a bedroom, an office, and like a little kind of cardio and mobility room. So a place where I can have a little like exercise bike, have a walk pad, and then even like a little mobility mat, because I don't want to pay for 2 gym memberships to go and do fucking mobility and crap. But just having something where it's like each morning I can do like faster steps, faster cardio, a little bit of mobility work, maybe even some posing practice, and then crack on with my day. That would be lovely, and especially on rest day, being able to get a little bit more of that done before then fucking off to Costa and doing my work. That would be lovely. But at the minute, EP is like a 30-minute drive, so it's like going there to do that in the morning, no way. Going there to do that in the middle of the day, no way. It's a waste of time and a waste of petrol. So I kind of do like all of my mobility and my cardio and everything on a training day, which makes it quite long, which isn't great, but needs must. That's a
Fucking hell, who's outside your house, bro?
I won't say where, I live near the Ring Road in Manchester, and there you'll get like actual Lamborghinis and shit that just fucking volley it around here. It's crazy.
Mad.
It's good stuff.
They must have massive penises.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy.
probably huge, mate. Huge.
Yeah, bro. At least 3 inches. That's crazy. Anyway, we'll actually get back to bodybuilding, chat, because I was. I'm so excited to have the most autistic routine when I go full time. Like that'll be my shit. I'll have like days where I go to Starbucks and stuff like that. I love working at Starbucks. Like if I can really feel myself getting like fucking glued to this desk. I just literally either get a bus if I don't have the car out here, or I'll just drive down to Starbucks and then go and spend a heinous amount on coffee and do work. So yeah, it's fun. If anyone is someone who always gets trapped at their desk, please go out. Like I know it's such an obvious thing, but it's so easy. Like the amount of times, like I'm so bad for it. The amount of times I'll get to like 4 o'clock like in the afternoon, I'm like, I've done fucking no steps. Like I don't do it that much anymore, but I used to. I still do it sometimes, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get my steps in, but then that's gonna be such a drag because my energy dips so much at like past 6. So I've got like a 2-hour window to go and smash my steps.
That's why I train in the middle of my day, because like I tend to train at 11, and I might start work at like 6 or 6 plus 1. I'm not saying it. Usually I'll do check-ins, like I do prep check-ins, and then I usually do check-ins like after I've kind of woken up a little bit. I do like kind of the backgroundy stuff in the morning. But I train at 11 because that's where I find like I burn out. Like I've been at the desk for long enough, I'm losing productivity. Like it's mainly, that's also where my workload tends to dip. Most people have like gone to do their jobs, and it's not quite their lunch break yet. And so like it's just kind of like, hey, I've sent off everyone's feedback, everyone who's going to reply has replied, everyone else will reply later. So it's like fuck off to the gym or fuck off to Costa, get a different change of environment for a few hours, and then come back and finish things up at the desk. But yeah, you need like anyone who's worked from home, even if you have an office, right? If you're fortunate enough to have an office, like I have the past few years, it's first of all it's way nicer than working in your bedroom, but it's still just too monotonous, especially on your own. Like I mean, if you're a 9 to 5 and you go to an office, you know how monotonous it is going to the same office with the same people and the same seating plan. But when you're on your own, sat in the same chair, on your own, in like at the same desk, yeah, coaching is very like sociable in terms of like you're talking to people and it can be quite a laugh and you don't have to be kind of so corporate and etc., right? But it's still very, very monotonous and very easy to just completely burn yourself out on. And if you spend 12 hours in one place, it's easy to wake up the next day and be like, I don't exactly want to do that. So taking yourself to a place that I kind of refer to it as like making the job not feel like a job. You know, when I'm walking, especially like sun shining, walking to Costa, nice cold coffee in hand, I'm there listening to some Kendrick Lamar, some bullshit like that. I don't know, maybe I'm listening to The Streets, maybe I'm listening to Halloween Farts. Shout out Halloween Farts.
Halloween Farts? What the fuck?
Yeah,
is
bro.
That?
Bro, I'll play them for you later. But that's such an old reference, such an old joke. But like it kind of makes coaching not feel like a job, and I think that's where people thrive as a coach, is when it doesn't feel like a job. Because if you make it feel too much like a job, your clients will pick up on it, and they'll just feel like they're burdening you with tasks of like, hey bro, can you get this done? Can you get that done? And people don't want to do that. Whereas if they feel like, oh hey man, here's my physique, what do you think? And like they're sending it to a mate, or they're sending form clips to a mate, or they're just checking in with a mate. Like you kind of need to keep things light and airy. Whereas if they feel like they're actively giving you work to do, they're far less inclined to do it, and the feedback that you'll give just will be lower quality. So
yeah,
quick coaching tip for anyone out there: as soon as it starts to feel like a job for you, change something. Get the fuck out of that room. Change what you're doing. Like, whack some TV on in the background. Change your clothes. Go and do it outside. Fucking listen to some fun music. Do something that makes it feel less like a job, so you're in a good mood. So when you talk to clients, you can still be professional, but not like fucking get away from me, I'm clearing through messages kind of thing, you know?
Or alternatively, just pop another snus and you'll be alright.
I've never touched it. I know you haven't either.
Bro, from me, bro. The worst I've done is like alcohol, bro. Well, no, I had creatine once when I was 7. That was scary.
Yeah, I had a mate of mine be like, you don't really touch drugs, do you? And I was like, which drugs? And they were like, party drugs. I was like, no, I don't touch them at all. And they were like, what other drugs are there? I'm like, plenty of drugs. Done plenty of drugs, bro.
Plenty? Yeah.
Done plenty.
Fair.
Just not party ones.
Yeah, the ones that make you big man, basically.
To be fair, I haven't actually dabbled in that many compounds. It's something I do want to. I do want to get a bit more first-hand experience with a few more.
Don't we all?
Because I mean, especially with like how expensive. This is a quick tangent. With how expensive DHT derivatives are getting. I've got a lot of clients where it's like that's not really an option, so it's like, okay, I should probably veer away from just always using DHT derivatives. So I've got like a bit more first-hand experience on a few things. I've got some good first-hand experience, but like you can never get too much first-hand experience if you're a bodybuilding coach. Basically, if you're someone taking PEDs, your coach should know and also have first-hand experience of that PED, because Jesus Christ, like some of them, especially if you get bad side effects, you don't know what that's like until you take it, because my god, some of them are horrible. Jesus.
So Jack's new stack is literally just going to be, it's him sheets are just going to say everything on it. Every drug. You're going to be like that guy who like trialed every poison to become immune to it, where it's just going to fucking pin everything.
Yeah. Like someone's like, I want to try EQ. You'd be like, yeah, I tried that. I stacked it with 17 other things. I felt shit. It might have been the EQ. I don't know.
Who knows? I'm sure you're going to look so healthy after that. For real.
I was going to say someone's name, but I won't.
So was I, bro. I was going to say it's the something stack, but I'm not going to say
I was going to say the something protocol. It's fine. Fine. I don't think anyone will know who the fuck we're on about. Because it's a bit of an inside joke between the three of us.
Oh well.
Lordy, lord. Oh yeah.
Fuck him. But anyway, bro, like, how long has this podcast been? 50 minutes! Oh
I know,
my
we're
god.
flying through it, mate.
We actually are, bro. We're in flow state. But yeah, like, what I'm gonna say is, like, I don't want to ask the really fucking always asked one to a first time.
Go for it, man.
But if you had any advice to another first timer competing this year, what would you say?
Oh, I keep giving out this advice, and I think I'd love to come up with a more unique and more varied, and I'd love to give a different answer every time. But it really is the best piece of advice. It's advice that I didn't entirely take, in terms of, like, it's a bit more like mentality based, and it's definitely like advice that I knew and I would give, but I didn't really take it, and I wish that I did. Two things. One, please, for the love of fucking God, don't talk down on yourself, right? Like, I did not take that advice at all. I knew I should, and it made, I don't regret the prep at all, and I would happily do it again, but my God, I would already do it better now. And I think when you're a first timer, you just don't know what's around the corner. You don't know how hard it's going to be. You don't know if things are going to get worse. You don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know how you're going to look like. And I think that's where the negativity comes from. And for me, it was like, I feel like I'm pushing so hard and I feel like I look so shit. And until I stepped on stage, I thought I looked shit. And I stepped on stage and then stepped off and was like, oh fuck, like, okay, cool, that I looked good. Like, what the fuck, that was great. And it's so easy to kind of like build that fear and build that idea of like, oh my God, what if it gets worse than this? Tim's just upped my cardio to 40 minutes every single fucking day, fasted. I get out of bed and I barely have the energy to walk to the bathroom to go for a piss, and you're telling me I have to trudge to the fucking gym to do 40 minutes of cardio. Fuck me, man. And then you come home and you eat meal one and you just feel hungrier. Fuck me. How much worse is this going to get? And it's so easy to, when you feel like a process is so hard and you feel like your physique looks so wank and like the outcome is already so wank, it's so easy to be so negative on yourself and be like, this is shit, I hate this. This is fucking awful. I look shit and I'm miserable. And then you have those days where you're like, okay, I see the vision, it's great. Anyway, so first one is don't be so negative on yourself, because you will make it worse. And also, 1,000%, it really truly is as hard as you make it. And like the difference in days that I would have where I'd be on my own versus just having my missus around and just having her chat shit to me about some random old bollocks, and like her being like, I'm gonna play this game, let's play this game together. Like, that goes such a long way for like, I wouldn't feel like I'm in prep. Whereas when I finish my final meal and I'm in bed and I'm like waiting to fall asleep and I'm hungry, you know, it's so much worse. But the other thing is, prep is 100% an accuracy contest. It's not a dieting contest. It's an accuracy contest. Just follow everything to the T. And that is advice that I took, but all the time I would be like, oh, maybe I should like not eat this next meal. I think I could do a bit more. Maybe I should, like, I did 40 minutes of cardio, but I feel like I could do 2 minutes post-workout and get an hour in. Like, I feel like I've done 15k steps. I feel like I could do another 5 if I got time. And like, I wouldn't overspill it, because I was like, no, this is going to make prep 10 times worse. But it's so easy when you're in that mindset to just be like more, and it will come back to bite you if you do it. And so at the end of the day, prep is just purely an accuracy contest. You get given a refeed, take the fucking refeed. You get given a de-output, take the fucking de-output. You get given more cardio, do the more cardio. It's funny, I think most people who've been bodybuilding for a while who end up as first timers probably veer on the side of like overly pushing themselves. Like, if coach says more cardio, they'll be like, fuck, that sucks, but obviously I'm going to do it. But if coach says de-output and refeed, they don't want to do it. Like, the amount of times I would get one day into a refeed and then have to hold myself back from messaging Tim being like, yo, I don't think I need the second day. I'd be like, no. If I didn't need the second day, Tim would know. Like, it's fine, crack on. You know, and it's like, you're just kind of chasing new body weight lows and getting flatter and stringier, and ultimately it's not a dieting contest. You are trying to preserve muscle mass. So focus on the positives and be accurate as fuck. Just be accurate. That's it. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about how you look. Just be accurate. Just keep on being accurate. That is your purpose. That's all you do. Your purpose is not to look good. Your purpose is to be accurate. Just be accurate. You'll end up looking good. But it's so easy to get hung up on the look, you know. And like, mate, the amount of times Tim, you know, I'd be 13 weeks out. I'd be like, Tim, I'm fat. He'd be like, no, you're 13 weeks out. Calm down. You need to be 13 weeks out. This is where I want you. I want you 13 weeks out, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's especially easy when you open Instagram and see someone like, you know, 16 weeks out, like peeled. And it's like, realistically, the coach hasn't done the job properly if they're 16 weeks out and peeled. Yeah. Like, you know, it really, unless you were planning on jumping on the earlier shows, but Tim knows what he's fucking doing. I mean, I had the briefest conversation with the man, and he seems like the most wise person I've ever seen. Brother's rocking the mustache, by the way. Fuck me, he looked like a fucking. He was stood there like. Mario. Well, he didn't do that, but yeah. Mario is crazy. He's more like Luigi. Oh no, Waluigi actually, because that's taller. But anyway, it was. I think the thing that you said there would really resonate with me. I think that it matters in all fucking stages of bodybuilding, but just be accurate, right? Like you say, like it's. The judges don't care how much you lose. We say it all the time. They don't care if you've lost 40 pounds or 20. If you look fucking good on stage, cool, and you were accurate throughout prep, it's gonna fucking show. It will show on the show day. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
It's when you're in a process where your entire purpose is to look as good as possible and get as lean as possible. That's constantly in your head. And it will if you let it get in your head early, or if you let it get in your head at all, then you're not gonna have a good time. But like literally from when I started prep on Boxing Day to like the end of prep, it's just constantly like, am I lean enough? Am I lean enough? I'm not lean enough. I'm not lean enough. Because your entire purpose is this one thing. It's like, I need to get leaner. I need to get leaner. I need to get leaner. And when that's your entire purpose, everything gets viewed through that lens, where it's like, I'm fucked, but I can see calories I could pull. I could see more steps that I could do. I could see more cardio. It's like you're constantly chasing that. And the thing is, if you do that, it's just going to come back to bite you, and the look will get worse. And it's like when you know, people want to constantly kind of chase like scale weight lows, and that's the thing is like that's just not realistic. You know, you're not going to be peeled from like 10 weeks out and then get super peeled, or like magically lose more fat, or like, you know, there's a pacing to it, there's an accuracy to it. And like you said, it's so easy on Instagram. Like I had to limit my time on Instagram towards the end, because obviously it was like, it's a time of the year when most people are competing. I'd open it up, I'd just see people that were competing, and I'd just be like, I can't accurately assess what I look like, so I just feel fatter every time I look at someone else, and it just made me feel worse. And that's not a good place to be in. And the thing is as well is like, you know, everyone posts the best shit, obviously, right? And it's like, you might see a full check-in from someone, but in that full check-in, are they sending every single check-in? How many rounds of posing did they do? Did they manipulate anything in those pictures? It's like, you literally have no idea. Like, I remember one time, you know the video of my quads where they're like covered in veins and shit? That was, I had a high day and I took a shower. And then I came out the shower and my legs looked like that. And I was like, yo! And it's like, that probably to someone got in their head a little bit, where they were like, man, my legs don't look like that. And it's like, not even my legs look like that all the time. That's just what they look like in that moment. And it's like the same thing with, you know, I take my post-workout shots and I'd be like, I look fucking mint. And I take my fastest shots and be like, I look kind of shit. And it's like, obviously I'm going to share the post-workout shots. And then, you know, I'm like putting my best foot forward, and everyone's going to do that. So it's like, you also don't know, if you see someone who's heavily conditioned, you don't know how much size they have either. And so, you know, again, you don't know, like, you see people in a posing room, they look really big and really lean, but it's like, you don't know what you look like in that posing room. Have you been to that gym? Have you been to it since you've been peeled? So it's like, yeah, it's so easy to get into that comparison. I saw a post that was like, I think it was from Dr. Wicks, that was like the judges will do. I thought maybe George Osborne, but it was like the judges will do the comparison for you. You don't need to spend all of prep comparing yourself. Just fucking follow the plan and focus on that and focus on being present, because you're like the judges are gonna compare you. It's all sorted. Don't worry. And that's so true. It's like as soon as you start to self compare, you're just gonna drive yourself nuts.
Yeah, you get what you were saying there when you were like, oh, I need to get leaner, I need to get leaner, and everything reflects that you do, and you always try and overwork yourself. You get that with lifestyle clients, but kind of the opposite. Like you kind of see like, oh, I need to get up that new body weight. They're honestly so obsessed with body weight to the point where like, it almost does the opposite way. Like, like if you were to go in a random workplace and something bad goes on, so let's refer that to scale weight going down. It's normally a negative thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to work harder. It's like, I'll go and fucking treat myself or whatever. It happens a lot in lifestyle clients. Like they just get so focused on scale weight. And honestly, the first thing I look at is like, the reason why I run primary phases a lot of the time for a lot of people is like, why are you trying to itch for that body weight every single time, when you've literally got, a bit of a warped perception of how food is supposed to look, how your life is supposed to look. You haven't organised yourself. Why do you want these results when we haven't even set the structure up yet, right? It's unrealistic and it's unfair on you, is what I normally say. And it's crazy how like one conversation with people can really change people's perspective. Going back to that thing I said at the start, perspective is everything. Like in a prep, if you're fucking just someone trying to lose weight, whatever it may be, just make sure your perspective is in the right place, and you're gonna be on for a good one. Fuck me, I cannot speak.
Mate, exactly. I mean, like the body weight one is one that I've had a lot of conversations with clients recently, and it's like, especially if they're like visibly sharper but body weight isn't shifting, they feel really down on themselves. And I'll be like, first of all, here's your pictures, and here's your body weights, right? Are you leaner? Look at it and tell me if you're leaner. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Why do you want to see body weight lower? Because I want to get leaner. Okay, so it's not body weight, it's that you want to get leaner, right? Like if you saw that we dropped 10 pounds and you look the same, how would you feel? Pretty wank, right? Cool. So body weight is just your quick metric of embodying leaner, because you can't always see leaner that quickly and you can't recognize it. But if you have a number that you associate with leaner, then it's more like, yes, leaner, got it, bang, sorted. So it's not the number that you're focused on, it's leaner. The goal is not to be X body weight, right? The goal is that you associate X body weight with a certain look. And so if the look is headed in that direction, and we're not having to shove the scale down, sweet. If anything, I'd rather that you were heavier and leaner, because for pretty much everyone everywhere, unless you're already like morbidly obese, which like holy shit, you'd be an incredible bodybuilder if you were like morbidly obese and then got heavier and leaner, goddamn. But like for pretty much everyone who's like of like a a healthy body weight range, heavier and leaner is the biggest win we can take. Like actively more muscle mass, actively stronger and leaner, that's awesome. That looks fantastic. Like that is perfect. And I see it in prep clients where they're constantly looking for new lows, and I'm like, you're leaner. I don't give a fuck about a new low. This is a new low. You are a new level of lean. Like, stop trying to chase 180 pounds on the scale when I'd still rather you were 200 on stage. Now, regardless, we're going to get you peeled, but I'd rather see you peeled at 200 than peeled at 180, right? Because that's just far more competitive. So it's like, if body weight needs to go down, then it will. But if it doesn't, then why the fuck are you chasing it? And like, I think that's the thing is, as soon as you start overly obsessing and chasing body weight, you kind of make that like your main avenue of progression. Then you get trapped in that of like, you start to focus so heavily on getting body weight down that it becomes a detriment to your training. Then you start to lose some tissue, or you lose that training quality, you flatten off, you get soft, and then you have to pursue a lower body weight because now there's less contractile tissue on your frame. And yeah, if you want to get leaner now, you have to get lower. Whereas I'd rather see someone, to be honest, I don't really give a fuck what the scale does, as long as they're getting leaner. Like, sweet. If I can look at your pictures and be like, you are very clearly leaner, I'm not getting out the magnifying glass, you're visually fucking leaner. Not fuller, leaner, fantastic, brilliant, cool. I don't give a fuck what scale weight does. If we're seeing that you're not getting those visual changes, then yeah, you're gonna have to pull down scale weight. But people hyper obsess about that metric, and it's the worst. It's really, really annoying because it's such a restrictive mindset, and I think it holds people back because they just end up like pushing themselves into the floor, and then they end up worse for it.
For sure. Should we wrap it up there? Because that was a pretty fucking good place to wrap it up.
Sound. Right, do you want to outro? Because I've done so much yapping, goddamn.
Yeah, Jack's actually so selfish, and he feels really selfish right now, guys.
I do feel really selfish.
No, you're not selfish! You literally just competed! Shut up! Anyway, that was GNS episode 5,067,000. I don't know. I don't know when I don't know what episode it was, but anyway, it was a very good one. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. If you want to be coached by me, Jack, or Camille, it'll be in link in bio, guys, or down below. If you want to listen to more episodes, just click on Spotify and listen to the rest. I don't know why I just told you that. And other than that, we've got Conte 10% off, Jizzle 10, get on it. Apart from that, it's not, it's Archer 10, guys. Please.
I might message Pete and be like, can we put in like an alias for the code, so if someone puts in Jizzle 10 it autocorrects, because like...
Please. No, it is Archer 10, guys, but just can you put Jizzle 10 in for good luck and then put Archer 10 in?
If enough of you put Jizzle 10, put Archer 10 and then put Jizzle 10 in, and if enough people do it, maybe it will get flagged and Pete will be...
No, Conte, sponsor me and I'll be Jizzle 10. I'll be that guy. I'm just Jizzle. Mizzle 10. Mizzle 10 is crazy. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Jack, I don't know when you're going to hit the end record button, so I have no idea when to stop.
Yeah, good point. All right. Thank you everyone for listening. If you do want coaching and you're someone who's more interested in not being competitive and getting in better shape, Matty is your man. If you're someone who is currently injured or wants to learn more about injury rehab and prevention, if you're a coach, Camille is your boy. And if you're someone who is thinking about doing a prep, doing a photo shoot prep, or you generally really like bodybuilding and you want to take things and get a little bit of a simulation of bodybuilding, or just go straight into bodybuilding, then hit me up. All three of us also offer coaching education, so if you're a PT or a coach and you're trying to get better results for your clients and grow your business by getting better results, we're not going to give you some wanky fucking business tips. The business tips are get better at being a coach. But if you're interested in that, all of us offer education. And yeah, that is everything. I'm going to hit the end record button. As always, thank you all for listening. Goodbye.